Hey guys, how's it going? Tom here today. So I just watched the new Netflix film and the latest installment of the Fear Street franchise. Fear Street Pom. Ooh, Fear Street Pom. Okay. Oh, fucking hell. Fear Street Prom Queen. But before watching the new installment, I had to go back to the roots of the franchise, and so I rewatched the original trilogy that premiered in 2021. Fear Street 1994, 1978, and 1666. Just so I could freshen up on all the lore the trilogy had put out in the world. But before we get into Prom Queen, I think it's only right that we talk about the original trilogy that started the franchise off and running. So, guys, that was the teaser trailer or announcement or whatever it was for Ominous. And yeah, some big news actually. I'm just gonna share quickly, and I probably will do a little short video on this, but I'll just get this out now. I am currently rewriting the entire thing. I was kind of unhappy with how it was going and everything, and I wanted to just get it as good as possible for everyone and mainly myself. So I am currently rewriting it. We're still going ahead with the scheduling of the filming that is set to take place in 2 to 3 weeks. So we still will have the filming schedule all done and dusted. I should have the script done by then. I'm writing day in and day out. So yeah, more of this on the way. But like I said, currently right now we are rewriting the script and hopefully more announcements soon. Just real quick, guys, I just want to shout out my girlfriend as fast as I can here. She helped me do the thumbnail for today's video. And yeah, I'm just very grateful for that. And I just want to shout it out. These are all their socials and everything that you can go follow and support her on. Go check out some of her work. She's a good graphic design artist. And yeah, thank you very much, Maddie. And let's get back to the video. So, Fear Street. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, and it kind of sucks. So I watched the films when they came out in 2021, and I guess I must have enjoyed them back when I first watched them, cause I gave them all 6 out of 10s. My favorite being Part Two, Fear Street 1978, mainly because it was a slasher film set at a camp during the summer of 1978. I remember the first film being fine, and the final installment of the trilogy not being my cup of tea. So my expectations for the rewatch was tame to say the least, but I was looking forward to part two. So when a new installment of the franchise creeped up on me, I rewatched the trilogy the night before Prom Queen released, and they were not as good as I remember them being. But before all of my opinions on the trilogy, I'm going to give you a little rundown of the films. So if you don't already know, the films are based on books written by R.L. Stine, the person who wrote all the Goosebumps books. The films are set in the fictional town of Shadyside and its rival town, Sunnyvale, which Shadyside has been cursed for centuries, while Sunnyvale has been completely untouched by the curse. Fear Street 1994, a group of teens accidentally awaken an ancient evil on their town, which eventually the evil latches itself onto one of the teens in the group, and now they're all in danger from the curse. Fear Street 1978, the surviving teens from the first film seek help from one of the only survivors of the curse, and she tells the kids her encounter with the curse that takes place in the summer of 1978 at Camp Nightwing, with the curse taking over the camp and unleashing past horrors and more lore. The final installment of the trilogy, Fear Street 1666, takes us way back to the beginning of the curse and see where it originated from, and we eventually jump back to the present in 1994 as the teens try to stop the curse once and for all. So that's the rundown of the trilogy. Now, my opinions on them. Okay, guys, so this is going to be a spoiler filled section. So that is your warning. If you haven't seen the films, click off the video now. So, Fear Street is just overall for me a very mixed bag. First off, I want to get all my positives out the way. I really do like the lore the films lay out for us. It's very interesting and very cool, and I love how whenever the curse is awoken, it doesn't just unleash one killer, it unleashes a bunch of them. And that is truly terrifying, as you have different types of slashers hunting you, ranging from Ryan Torres, who's basically Ghostface, silent and stealthy, and then you have Thomas Slater, who is basically Jason Voorhees, strong and fast. I truly love that as it offers different horrors to the audience watching the film. I also love how different every other slasher looks. It's really cool. The kills are good. They even go as far as hacking up a few younger campers in part 2, which I honestly couldn't help but enjoy. But the kill that stood out the most has to be the bread slicer. That has stuck with me and it is flawlessly done. I think the second film has the best performances from Sadie Sink and Emily Rudd. Both amazing, and I really do like their dynamic during the film. There are decent chase sequences and nice little references to other horror films, mainly being Scream and Carrie. I really enjoyed the climax of Part 3, with all the characters and killers coming into the mall, and that being a big trap. That I thought worked really well. The soundtrack and set design, also decent. But to be honest, I guess that's where my positives end with the trilogy. Now, the negatives. I think the characters all suck. Other than the Behrman siblings, our actual main characters in 1994 suck so much. I just didn't care if they lived, and I much more wanted them to die. Especially our main final girls or final couple, Dina and Samantha, fucking suck. I hate them both. They're so boring, and there is nothing remotely interesting about the characters. And all they have is that they were once in love, and now they're not. Maybe they still love each other. I was happy when they didn't really even feature in part 2, and I got some decent characters that I actually gave a shit about. I also found the pacing of the films to be very poor, and they lasted a long time for me, which is crazy considering the shortest of the trilogy is 108 minutes, and the longest being 115 minutes. They ultimately should have just been about 90 minutes for each film. They just seem to go on for such a long time, especially the third one. Fuck me, that lasted a lifetime and was so boring. I can't stand the third film up until its climax, and I also appreciate it for doing something different than any other slasher film or series. But I just feel that we spent a good hour in 1666 with a bunch of bullshit. I couldn't give a flying fuck about. Seraphia, the person who was blamed for the case and is named a witch. She's named a witch because she is gay, and some shit goes down on her town, which she then gets the blame for, as the town folk find out that she is gay and consider it witchcraft, which she confesses to just before her death, because she is dead. Either way. Yeah, while I get this is accurate to the time period, I couldn't help but feel that this is forced, and is only used as a plot point because she is played by the same girl playing Dina in the present of the story of 1994, who also happens to be gay. I'm fine with characters being gay and everyone being included, but what I don't like is stuff being forced down mine and the audience's throat, and I feel like this film has done that for me. I also had to research if there was any gay storylines from the books, and it looked like there never was. In the end, it doesn't really mean anything because they just use it as a plot point for both characters, and it just sucks to be honest. And at the end of the day, for me, I do find it pointless. Of course, I could have read what they was going for wrong, but it's just my opinion at the end of the day. I also didn't enjoy the reuse of reoccurring actors and actresses used in Part 3. I found it cheap and boring. Really wanted to see what a new cast could have done, rather than the old boring ones, but Sadie and Emily. But even they don't get a moment to shine, sadly. I get they're all playing ancestors and previous people that they do play, but I just wasn't a fan, and everyone has this accent, and it was just done so poorly, and it really takes me off the film. I get what they was going for with Dina's actress playing Seraphia in 1666, as I look through her eyes, but she isn't related to her. So it's confusing when everyone else is playing ancestors and she isn't. But they had already casted someone for the role, and she popped up a few times during 1666 segment, so I don't get why they didn't just have her play the character. I found that to be quite stupid in all honesty. But what I hate most about this trilogy, other than stupid and forced plot points, is that they're just so boring and I really don't care about anyone at all. And I end up hoping they all just die, which is one thing a horror film should never make you feel. You should actually care for the characters and hope they make it out alive, while also enjoying the villain. And while I do enjoy the villains, they're not amazing. I won't be in the top 50 horror villains of all time, but at least I enjoyed them slightly compared to the actual characters I meant to care for. But I just wanted the villains to hack and bash them up, so this would be over. The films had such potential to be different than any other slasher series we've seen, but it ends up just stumbling over itself and ends up being a forgettable mess. This would have been much better if it was a show or a mini series. So overall, I feel that the trilogy is really a mixed bag. It had such big potential and could have been so special and something people still talk about, but it's just a complete mess and totally forgettable from my point of view. Part 2 is still my favourite, but slightly weaker than I remember it being, with the first part being a mess and the last part being so boring up until its climax. But if you love the series, then that's good. I'm happy for you. I'm not trying to change your opinion. Like what you want to like, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't enjoy something just because other people think it's bad. I love a lot of shit films, and I wear it as a badge of honour. Anyway, I think I've talked long enough, so I'm going to end this video right here. But don't worry, as part 2 of this video will be out hopefully on the Friday, if this goes up on the Wednesday. If not, it'll be up very soon. Thanks for listening to me talk, and I hope I haven't offended anyone with my opinions and takes on the film, as it's not what I intended. But anyway, guys, leave me some feedback in the comments below, and stick around for part 2 of this video, and also Ominous coming very soon. Good night, and remember, Jesus loves you.